right around 2015, 16, we were flipping a lot of houses, and we were noticing that the lending in this space was really kind of fragmented. There wasn't anybody really doing it with a lot of integrity, and we saw that there's an opportunity to come in and take what we know about fix and flip and high volume fix and flip, and utilize all of those skills and tools to be able to help other fix and flip borrowers and really lend them money. We thought that was a good period. We thought that was a good time for us to start HouseMax Funding, because at that point, it was really the wild, wild west for lending. And there was a lot of times where you would go to a lender, a borrower would go to a closing table, and what you would see, the terms and the rates would be completely different than what you had discussed this whole time. So we thought it was a great opportunity for us to be a high integrity lender and take everything we knew about high volume fix and flip. And so not only did we think the deal fit our credit guidelines, but we also looked at each deal and said, would we do this deal? And we're using, the thousands of fix and flip deals we had done. We're using all that experience to translate into that, is this a good deal for you? And really help these borrowers underwrite these deals themselves and make sure they're getting into profitable deals. The initial vision was for flippers by flippers, taking all the experience we had in doing high volume fix and flip, where we've seen basically everything that can go wrong. The vision was take all that experience and help first time and new fix and flip borrowers and investors, and really show them the best way to do these fix and flip projects. The evolution over that has really changed. We still help the guys that are first, second, third time fix and flippers, but the evolution is really more of the institutional fix and flippers, the folks that are doing 10, 20, 30 projects a year, and really helping those guys by driving really good cost of capital and leverage, and providing them all the tools they need where they can effectively fix and flip lots of homes.
One of the things that differentiates HouseMax from most other lenders in our space is access. It's access to our low cost of capital, it's access to our institutional partners, but most important, it's access to our people. We are a very boots on the ground oriented company. We don't want to be an e-lender or a call center that's funding loans all across the country. That's why we open regional offices in major markets. That when you've got a project in San Diego, that Katie's going to be walking that project with you. And if you've got a project in Austin, Aubrey or Caleb are going to be walking that project with you. If you've got a project in Denver, Brian's going to be walking that project with you, right? We want to build long-term partnerships with somebody that you can sit down with, look in the eye, and do business like it's meant to be done.
The institutional folks that are doing 10 plus deals a year, we sit down with you. We want to get to know you and get to know what your true needs are. And so that way we can build a custom solution for you, whether it be lines of credit or higher leverage or different things. We want to sit down and be super impactful to your business. And really that's you telling us what sort of things that are going to work for you. And then we go back to our institutional capital and we put all that together and we create special programs for you.
The kind of relationship we aim to build with our borrowers is really simple. And I'll steal a line from our co-founder, Jeff, is that we want to be as important to your business as you are to ours. We want to build long-term relationships. We want to invest in you, not the project A, B, or C that you bring us over the course of a year. We invest in you as a borrower, you as a partner, and then we want to be a really important player in helping you select deals, in helping you scale your business, and helping you be more profitable. The type of borrower or developer that best benefits from working with HouseMax is one that's looking for a different relationship than they have with their current lender or they have with their private money. We're suited for borrowers and for investors that are looking for a long-term relationship, as cheesy as that might sound, that are looking for a long-term, profitable, and healthy relationship with a lending partner. And I think that's the key word. The key word is we want to be a partner in your growth. We want to be as important to your business as you are to ours. And I haven't been doing this that long, but I haven't met a real estate investor yet that's doing 3 a year that doesn't want to do 10 a year, or one that's doing 10 a year that doesn't want to do 20 a year. And I always ask him, what's stopping you from scaling? I know the answer before they say it. It's money. We've got the money, we've got the experience, and we have the desire to build a long-term relationship with our borrowers and help you take that next step in your career path.
As we've grown, obviously our customer base has grown, our employee headcount has grown, all things have grown. We have sought to really get to know our borrowers on a more personal level, but on a more professional level as well. And part of that is, traveling to their city and, seeing their projects, walking them, touching them, feeling them, ensuring that, as we continue to lend them more money on a more regular basis at higher quantities and loan amounts, we really want to understand that they are who we think they are. And so through that, what we call the KYB, the Know Your Borrower process, you get to know them on a personal level. You also have conversations about their business, and you try to identify selflessly pain points wherein we can offer solutions or growth or solve problems for them that they can't currently solve. And so through that, we have a couple of borrowers who we've realized they don't need to be the standard borrower who's who's borrowing a loan, but perhaps we can do something a little more creative. Again, I go back to that creativity and money solve all problems. What if we structured the loan different? What if we structured this as a partnership? And that has really injected rocket fuel into the engines of some of our borrowers, where they're able to expand their reach and their volume and keep their crews busier and have more acquisitions and therefore exits and therefore profit. And I think that has certainly been a win-win, but it's been a testament to, there's so much to be said for knowing your borrower beyond, hey, that's their phone number, I couldn't pick him or her out of a crowd, but instead, going to a hockey game, going to dinner, or just spending the day in their car hearing about where they're from, how they got here, where they're heading, what their vision is, and why they enjoy what they're doing. Because kind of like a round of golf, you can learn a lot about somebody spending a captive 2, 3, 4 hours together without even really making an attempt to understand who they are by virtue of the time you spent together. You got all the answers you could ever want. I remember one of the epiphanies I had when I got married. We had a fantasy draft type wedding where we kept it to 40. And my wife invited 20, I invited 20 from different states, and we had a destination wedding. And as I looked around, I realized that half of the people I'd asked to come to my wedding were people I met by virtue of my real estate career. And it dawned on me, it was such a neat notion that I not only had a job that I enjoyed that paid me a fair wage, but it was changing my life on a personal level, where I had these relationships that were so long lasting that I wanted them at the most important day of my life. And when we launched HouseMax, it's not that I set out to get married again and have more friends come to my second wedding or renewing vows, certainly, but that I wanted to have the same approach to that customer interaction and relationship management. I think CRM is such a generic term of customer relationship management. I really want true relationships where I've got a guy that when BYU is in the Sweet 16, I'm texting him during the game about how they're playing, not because I want his business, but because we become friends by virtue of HouseMax Funding. And it's important to not just have these people be transactions, but to be relationships. These are real people. It's their money. It's their lifeblood. They're putting food on their families' plates. And in turn, we're putting food on our families' plates and all those who work at HouseMax. And so I think I cannot stress enough the importance of that relationship we have with our customers and how each one is as important as the next, because they are the lifeblood of our company. When I got into real estate, I was so intent on being an expert on all things water rights, land rights, property rights, surveys, title policies, and I quickly realized I was in the people business, right? That the rest of that stuff needs to be figured out, but ultimately you're interfacing with a person. They are the customer that needs to be most expertly handled. And in the people business, no 2 days are ever the same, right? We're all going to wake up with a different day ahead of us, and the human condition is something's going to pop up, and no 2 days are the same. And as this industry has evolved from kind of a country club money, loan shark type landscape to this institutional grade Wall Street, pension funds, billions and billions of dollars trading hands. It's evolving so rapidly that it's exciting to navigate these new changes as well as continue to navigate the everyday challenges you have dealing with, I mean, a lot of human beings are involved in these transactions. Things are going to go wrong, and solving those problems is necessary and exciting, and some days excruciating. But the hope is that when you get to the finish line, everyone survived and wants to do it again.
One of the things that's crazy to me is when we started, Alex and I started with one loan. We each put in a couple $100,000. We funded the loan, and then we sold it off and managed it, to just a couple months ago, we finished our 5,000th loan. It's amazing to us where we've been able to grow and go from funding this all out of ourselves to having really big institutional partners who invest in us and want us to succeed. It's just been an amazing ride, going from one loan to thousands of loans and helping thousands of people achieve their fix and flip or ground up construction dreams.